I don't believe in that principle of the classical idea of the masterpiece, but more in that it is a group of work what makes the work okay.
We see architecture as a body of theory, practice, ideas, philosophy, which we treat as a whole.
The studio is a network of different specialists, and we don't have that super hierarchical organization. We work in workshops, in this united network, so we have far more interactive working methods now.
It has meanings for us on different levels. The most interesting one maybe is unstudio, so it's a non-studio, but it also refers to the type of projects that we do.
Well, the Blue Period was coming out of the phase where we were working on the Erasmus Bridge in the beginning. The idea of the blue came up with the way blue might disappear in the sky. It came back into the Valkhof in the facade. Green glass with blue behind it, and when the light came into it, then the facade turned into a blue facade. So this kind of play between light, color was actually articulating the Blue Period. The NMR was very much dealing with the principles of molecular research. I wanted to make a column-free, wrapped-in building with no kind of strong obstacles in there. We tested that out here for the first time. In the Möbius house we introduced there for the first time what we call the mathematical model of organization. The idea was that the mathematical model, like a Möbius structure, could be absorbing a lot of architectural ingredients. The facades of the glass turn sometimes from the outside to the inside, so it's sometimes very unique in a way how you have no kind of inside or outside in that house.
To live with you,
Move really is a book of a moment. We wrote it at the same time as we were transforming our old practice into UN Studio, and the book is for a large part about what is a contemporary practice of architecture today.
Move was our first attempt to write a manifesto about how we as a studio could also experiment much more with new techniques. With diagrams I discovered that you could influence unexpected aspects of the design. We discovered that the computer could start to be active in the way how you could bring information together in the diagram. Deep planning is a far more interesting way of using the computer than any other means of using the computer. Deep planning talks about all the ingredients, all the parameters you can work with, and that particularly all connected to its time. Deep planning was used in the Arnhem train station in order to rethink the whole principle of a train station. It is more a transfer location now. But later on you would probably discover that it is much more an urban hub. Deep planning was used again in the Genoa project. The whole roof and the publicness of the site is generating active programs like sports, commercial programs and cultural programs. We've always liked product design simply because you can do a nice material research. Like with the things we did for Alessi, you can quickly test what you can do with silver or what you can do with new molding techniques for steel. Or with the chair we did for Walter Knoll, we tested new kinds of ideas. The ideas what can be then later on used even in buildings. The building often is a kind of background for activities, whereas a product is often connected towards the physical attachment of the body itself. The interesting thing about exhibition design is that it is dealing with this principle of modesty and carefulness of the background of what you want to see in the exhibition. I like that idea, that you play with that background of what architecture could be and should be and needs to be in a careful manner. These conceptual designs or these installations, they are dealing with tests and they form a laboratorium for the rest of the work. Design models were used as a way to rethink how we could use computational design in a new manner. Through prototypical principles, these diagrams turn slowly into a model for design. Like with the Klein-Bolte principle, you see that also maybe in the theater in Lelystad. The project starts with a handrail. You go inside the Klein-Bolte and then the handrail turns itself into the foyer and then melts over into a facade. In Villa NM you have a very soft space in the middle where the staircases come together, but this twist in the middle is the area where the box of the living room turns suddenly into 4 boxes. That crossing moment in the middle of the house melts the social interactiveness together of the way how people come together in that part of the house. In the Mercedes-Benz building, if you walk around that twist, the spaces are not in front of you, but they follow you. What is important there is that a lot of museum experiences come together. We were interested in the more dimensional experience of the spatial quality in the way we would see the object of the car.